All right.
Here we go, man. SAB in the mountains, tribe and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember back in the days when I used to go to the Beltway all the time. I was doing business development. I believe it was Raytheon had this commercial that would show up on TV. And it was, failure is not an option. And I always laughed at that because failure, of course, failure is not an option, but failure happens. So how do you handle failure, failing, missing the target, and bouncing back? What are you doing with that, Jason?
Failure's inevitable, man. I mean, it's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
And it always not to get too far down the rabbit hole of that, but you hear success, but what you don't hear a lot of people talk about is the failure, right? And I mean, I've started and launched a couple dozen companies, and I can tell you what, every one of them at some point failed. I don't like the word failure. I like the word lessons.
Yep.
That's the word I like. But failure is going to happen, and it's how you deal with that failure that inevitably is going to be bankruptcy versus your next great, your next great pivot or your next great scale or whatever that is. It doesn't even have to be monetary, right? But don't focus on the failure. Fail forward. That's the key. Fail forward always. Don't ever fail backwards. Always fail forward. Land on your face. Get up. Dust yourself off. And frickin' keep moving. Keep moving up the mountain, no matter what. And hopefully you got people around you, like Otis, that'll pull you up the mountain if need be.
That's right. I'll drag your ass up. And you know what? That fail forward, you know how you fail forward? Is you're taking action. You're moving towards it. You're taking that step. You're taking the risk of movement as opposed to waiting for things to happen. As the leader, you accept that risk. You accept the opportunity to step into it and take action because you know that if you fail, if you don't get it right, if you miss the target, guess what? You can adjust. A little Kentucky windage, a little drop 200, fire for effect, all those sort of things. We know what that means. And I have promised I'm going to do a video about that here in the very near future. But don't fail sitting on your butt. Fail taking action. That's the difference. That's the differentiator between success and becoming a failure.
Remember, they're both temporary if you don't get it right.